Hello everyone, even. There you are. So today it's going to be hopefully a short session, and it's short in its nature because we're going to cover buzz sessions, a great way for you to engage and coordinate and understand exactly what's going on in your business and ensure that your people are continuously engaged and actively contributing and providing direct feedback from the customer into your business, and also contributing and providing direct feedback as to their own contribution into the success of the business. Now, buzz sessions, you will have seen them before, but they may not have been called buzz sessions. So they originated from a guy called Phillips, 66 or 66, where he originally formed 6 people that would meet for 6 people in large groups of 20 to 100. And what it does is it allows for you to engage an entire audience of people that wouldn't ordinarily have been engaged if you had just presented to them. And so asking them to break out and go and establish some form of agenda for them to go away, discuss it, write something down and record it and contribute to the overall meeting, then you're able to obtain a lot more feedback than you would have originally. So you will have done this at seminars, you may have done it in webinars, even virtually, where you have like a breakout session with a number of different people and you're given an agenda point to discuss, and then you appoint a focal person to be a vocal person to be able to come back and present your findings back into the group. So these buzz sessions, these were created in 1948. So we've been doing them all this time. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use buzz sessions as a way to actively engage our people, not just for that one workshop or that one seminar, but continuously throughout the business life cycle and through the growth cycle that we covered in another session. So by the time you get to buzz sessions, you will have understood a few things in terms of the growth cycle. So you will understand your business objectives or business success criteria. You may have allocated a sales target, a margin target, a people target, an engagement target in terms of your customers and your people. And you will understand what success looks like for your business in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You will have also understood what customer value means. Ask your customers what they perceive to be of value in you and your business. Ask your customers why they take money from their pocket and put it into your pocket. Very, very important to understand the space between selling and buying. And then you're able to target, taking into account the success criteria of your business, the key customer value drivers as to why they take money from their pocket and put it in yours. Then what you're able to do is you're able to ask your people in terms of customer value. Understand what your people are telling you for what they perceive to be customer value. And also the most important thing is that business, leadership teams, business owners, teams of people, if you don't have a hierarchy as such, but all of you in the organization know and understand what customer value is. Now, what you're able to establish here is, from this point, understanding business value, business success criteria, customer value, and what people perceive to be customer value, you're then able to establish a key vision for the success of the business. And your vision has your definite purpose, your plan for the future, and also your core values. And you know that they're all linked to the success of the business, and it aids daily decision making because you understand the key business criteria that you want to succeed in, what customer value is for you to focus on. Your people are aware, and what you know from your people, what they perceive to be of customer value as well. So you can then start to put in place a key mission. To ensure that the mission statement is directly attributed to your people, adding to customer value, and you know that when your people are growing and adding to customer value, it links to the success of the business, and vice versa. It's a continuum. It's a continuous cycle. And then in terms of your people, it's up to you how much you want to disclose in terms of the actual commercial criteria and success criteria of the business. You might not want every single employee knowing, if you're a private company, what your margins are. If you're a public company, what your reported margins are. Again, you might not want to publicize that directly to every single employee. You might just want to continue with your operation moving forward. But if your people are aware as to what the success criteria are in the business, you're able to translate success criteria in the form of objectives. Okay, and now what you're able to establish here is from business success criteria, your business plan, budget, revenue, margin targets, number of customers, number of people targets. You're fully aligned as to what customer value is. Your people know exactly what customer value is, and you have established that entire piece of feedback. Translated into the vision, which then gives the mission statement into the people, delivering customer value, and then individual objectives for people and teams for them to be able to be evaluated against the success criteria of the business. And then essentially, as the business grows, the people grow. As the people grow, the business grows, because everyone's fully aligned with what drives customer value, what enables and inhibits the people from delivering customer value. So what enables them, you want to ensure that is enduring, and what inhibits them, you want to nail or make as much as efficient as possible, or stop doing it. That forms your mission statement. And then you're able to translate business success criteria from the mission into individual objectives. Now, once you've established this, one thing that you're able to do is start communicating this into the business. So, and increase the engagement of your customers and your people. This is going to cover how to engage your people much more succinctly and continuously, so that there are no surprises when it comes to that half-yearly performance review. You know, where the worst case of a performance review is that it's done half-yearly, in my opinion, and also, because you've never had that much interaction with that person, if you're the manager or leader conducting the performance review, then there's lots of surprises there, usually good and challenging. So the buzz session will allow you to see how to continuously have the growth cycle revolving around the operation of the business. So I'm just going to clean the board and give me some space. So that's the growth cycle that we've covered in detail. Then, once you've established your vision, the mission, and then objectives, you'll have a mission statement that you might want to divide into 3 teams or 3 parts. To be able to allocate objectives into individual teams. So your objectives could be, you know, you might have 5 teams or 5 people. You might have 5 divisions that need to stick to a specific objective. And you know, as I've said with the growth cycle, that the objective contributes to the mission and to the vision, which goes back to customer value, business success criteria, and then you can continuously evaluate the performance against delivery of objectives that are fulfilling the mission and vision against the fact that, you know, sell more, to be simple, in terms of an objective. Is that increase in sales? Indeed. Now, once you have the wheel that you're able to communicate throughout your entire organization, and I talk about a single page, a single flyer that every person in the organization should have, so that they know, as they're performing their duties, how they're contributing to the success of the business. This should be a snowball. So this should start off, if you baseline where your current business is, it should be a snowball that everyone can hold and can see. And effectively, as your business revolves and you go through the growth cycle, continuously understanding your success criteria, understanding customer value, how your people contribute to customer value, how you evaluate the performance against the vision, mission, and objectives, and you grow again in your success criteria, you go again and re-baseline. So as you're continuously revolving around the growth cycle, it should be a snowball effect. So you start off here, understand customer criteria and people, customer criteria here, vision, missions, objectives, growth, go again, vision, mission, objectives, growth, go again, and it should get bigger and bigger. And that's how you link business success to your people success. Now, the buzz meeting, you're able to provide everyone with a copy of this. The buzz meeting should be very, very succinct, almost like a breakout or a focus group or a huddle, actually, as well. If you're carrying out innovative or creative tasks, you can put teams together randomly even and ask them to huddle on a certain topic. Now, when it's used in the connection with the growth cycle, i.e. mission and objectives directly linked to the success of the business, the buzz meeting should be a regular review of teams as to how they're progressing throughout the week. So each week, and it doesn't need to be a long meeting, it can be 15 to 30 minutes maximum. So the key with the buzz meeting is that there's no surprises. You assign a leader. Important to have a leader. It's not a coffee break, okay? You have a leader that sits people down on a Monday or any day of the week or a Friday to evaluate the week that's gone by. How's your week gone? Let's everyone take it in turns to have 60 seconds or 90 seconds to say, this is what's gone well. Challenges. Any lessons learned or best practice shared? And then any support needed. So, what's gone well? What have been the challenges for the week? What have you learned, or how have you overcome any challenges? And is there any support required? Now, that's very, very important. If you cover that in line with the objectives that each team member knows that they need to fulfill, they may have 1 or 2 objectives, 3 maximum, especially if you need to evaluate and monitor performance against objectives, especially if these objectives link to the success of your business. But it needs to be very specific. We talk about SMART objectives. These need to be SMART objectives. So groups, teams of 5 to 10 people max. You can split different teams up to have weekly buzz meetings, weekly buzz sessions. I've seen buzz sessions go for an hour with larger teams. for me, it becomes inefficient. People pay it lip service. They don't necessarily actively contribute towards the buzz meeting itself. And that's why it's really important to be able to assign a leader, have an agenda, ideally linked to the objective, and then you know that your team, or teams and your people are continuously talking about how they're contributing to the success of the business. Now, this is weekly. So once you put these in place, you know that you can ask people to stay behind 15 minutes, to on a Monday come in 15 minutes early, or even if you feel as though it's contributing positively, you can start the clock, or you can start at 9:15 on a Monday morning, knowing that your people are there at 9 and they're having a buzz about how the following week is going to go, and there's no surprises. Everyone knows what's gone well and what successes they've had. Chance to celebrate and recognize people every week is pretty important. Challenges, so people are forecasting throughout the week, understanding what lessons and best practice they've used to overcome them, or what support is needed. So you get more people engaged, knowing that as a leader or a business owner, that you don't have to do everything yourself. It would be fantastic if you knew hundreds of names, their families, their hobbies, what do they do at the weekend, and I would encourage you to do that gradually. You, as a leader, as a business leader, when you have other responsibilities and you've got a business to run and you've got people to manage and lead, you can't spend 15 minutes with every single person every single day. The buzz meetings allow the proficient and much more efficient engagement within the business. Now, the way this all ties together through buzz meetings that you can allocate team members for, knowing that they're contributing and talking about objectives in their agenda, you can then have more formal or informal meetings with your employees or with your people and your teams, and they can be in the form of one-to-ones. So one-to-ones, you can call them performance reviews, but you don't necessarily need to have formal one-to-ones, certainly not every week, unless there's something really challenging going on in the business. But you can have one-to-ones, for me, monthly as a minimum. That's a chance for your people to say, this is the support I need, and for you to address it if you're the leader or manager in the one-to-one. Also, if there's support needed that can be treated or mitigated, and the person who's raised it can be supported, that's another benefit of the buzz meeting. If it's something that needs to be escalated, if it's an issue, if it needs more formal application, HR, management, leadership, some personal things that need to be addressed, then bring the one-to-one forward, ideally. So then you have your one-to-one monthly. So you've got weekly buzz sessions for 10 minutes of your teams talking about their contribution and their forecasted week as to how they're going to contribute to the success of the business. You then have monthly one-to-ones, knowing that a lot of this is taken care of in terms of the business. Here, it's the opportunity then for you to really get to know the person. And it should be about one-to-one. It should be about these two people in the meeting. Address work if it's necessary, but the one-to-one is: are you happy? Are you ambitious? You're very talented. We want to recognise your talents, and what do you do at the weekend? For example, they like playing golf. So the next success that they have that maybe passes some form of milestone for the business, that they'll appreciate some form of golf. You don't get those nuances and those kind of sense of being without having the one-to-ones. You don't get them even if you have the one-to-ones and all you talk about is business. So that's a good reason for the buzz meetings. We used to call them buzz for business because that's where you address the business and performance, how everyone's going to work together as a team. Then maybe as a leadership team or as a business focus where you address and evaluate the objectives that you've set yourself for the business and the commercial success factors for the company, you can do these quarterly business reviews. That's when you can continuously evaluate them. The reason why I would suggest you do these quarterly is because you will have had one-to-ones with your team, or your managers will have had one-to-ones with your team if you're a larger team. I've put in place this globally, knowing that there'll be hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people that at site level, at a specific location, buzz meetings will be happening, one-to-ones will be happening, and then in the quarterly business review, all of the sites come together in a region, and then there's a second quarterly business review for a national, then there's a global business review. Everything feeds in together, the growth cycle, okay? Quarterly business review, then you guessed it, annual business review, where you look at accounts and you look at setting new targets, you look at promotions, look at budgets, look at sales pipeline hit rates, you know, your success rate, marketing budgets. That annual meeting will write itself if you're conducting buzz meetings, one-to-ones, quarterly business reviews, and then get into your annual reviews. So you'll have buzz feeding into one-to-ones, feeding into quarterly business reviews, feeding into annual business reviews. AVR, QBR, one-to-ones, and buzz. Knowing that after the annual business review, there may be new objectives. So you go back to the growth cycle because you've grown. And this is an engagement loop, feedback loop, evaluation loop, whatever kind of phrase you use. The whole point of the StrategySmith is to turn strategy into action. When, you know, we're going to be the next McKinsey, right? We don't deliver a report that holds up cobwebs on your desk that's made with hundreds of slides of stock, apparently. So buzz sessions, one-to-ones, QBRs, ABRs, where you can directly see the contribution of your people to the success of the business, reevaluate that in the one-to-ones, QBRs, and annual business reviews. And that's the session. So have fun with it. Get through the buzz sessions, get through the one-to-ones, quarterly business reviews, annual business reviews, reassess the performance of the business, allocate revised objectives linking to the mission and the vision. You're able to evaluate if necessary in one-to-ones, evaluate the business success, quarterly reviews, evaluate business success and annual reviews. And once you do that, you have a fully engaged workforce, a team of people that are growing in parallel and linked to the business centralized around customer value. Perfect. See you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.